Okay, so I think you said in January that this offseason's been a little bit different for you than just about any because of the structure and the ability to work with teammates and all that. So you walk into this camp today with this improved roster. What's your state of mind about 2023?
Well, I mean, I definitely feel stronger. I really enjoyed the off season being in our stadium, our home stadium. It's something that I was able to do previously in my career with Oakland, just being in the same facility and having the same, just the same equipment, coaches being around, and as pro players, you want to be able to get all your work in the same place and as efficient as possible. For me as a family man, just being able to maximize my time in the stadium, then go home, be with the kids was great. In terms of our ball club, I think that we've added some pieces that we probably needed pretty bad last year in terms of pitching depth, and I think the young guys that were here last year are going to be better. I've said that once, I'll say it again. And that's pitching and position players. Everybody gets better with experience in this league, so I'm looking forward to seeing how everybody shows up.
How do you feel like you, Marcus Semien, are positioned?
I mean, I'm ready to be the same guy, and just play better. Spring training for me is not what it used to be. I think as a young player, it used to be impress everybody and be at the peak of your game in March, right? Just to get a roster spot. Now it's stay healthy, be strong, have good at bats, swing at strikes, play good defense, and position myself to play every single day this season.
Is there an added level of comfort coming into your second year here versus last year? You need a lot of new faces.
Yeah, I mean, most of camp last year was just trying to learn people's names and forget them and learn them again. And, at the same time, there was added pressure to be that leader immediately because, the team was so young in 2021, which is fine. I mean, but when you're trying to learn everybody and you had a different off season, it was camp was kind of a whirlwind. So now it's a little bit more relaxed for me. I feel a lot more confident going in, and just being year 2 of an organization is huge.
Looking back on last year, the last offseason lockout, but you were really busy. Mm-hmm. Did those duties affect, in hindsight, your preparation for the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think what comes with that position in the union is a lot of sacrifice. You're going to sacrifice some time because, especially during a CBA year where, there's hours where you wish you could have been in the gym where you had to be making sure things were in line and things were right. And it took a long time because, as you all know, there was a lockout, and I still continue to train as hard as I possibly can, but it was just different, But every 5 years we're going to go through stuff like that.
You got off to a slow start. Did the offseason contribute to that, or are there just a bunch of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think the year before in 21, I came in saying I'm going to do everything I did in 21, and when things don't click like they were, 4 or 5 months ago in that season, you look for ways to get better. And you have new coaches, right? First year of new organization, they don't know. They don't know what I was doing, what I was thinking. So a lot of it was just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, how I wanted to be the most consistent. It definitely took more time than I wanted.
You'll hit your first home run before May 26th this year.
I would love to. I feel stronger. The thing about hitting for power is you want to feel strong. You want to be able to time up the highest velocity, and for me that's part of my game, is to be able to connect with high velocity and hit it in the air. That's the way I did it, and that's the way I've always done it. So when you're late on fastballs like I was early last year, it's going to take a while.
Well, talking about trying to jump straight into your leadership role last year, I was talking to Mark Matthias, and he said this offseason that working with you was really eye-opening to him, just mimicking your process a little bit. Has that, you kind of said it's been a little easier to do that this year. How important was it for you this offseason to work with those guys, not just for the sake of getting the work in, but also as establishing, as we move into the season, now we've got a routine that we've got this.
Yeah, I think, they push me harder than I've ever been pushed because I want to show them what it takes, right? And I don't, I've always thought I worked hard, but when you have young people watching you and players who are trying to make a roster spot, there's, I went the extra mile just to show them like what we're capable of. And these guys are great players, but I just know I know that point in the career where it's just, you look at the roster and you see all these veterans and you're like, where do I fit in, right? So just getting them to show up every day and dedicate everything to what we're doing in the gym and the cage was very easy, and I think they're going to do great.
But there was a benefit for you too. Like this off season, I think the way you said it, right? You did go to the Coliseum and work out in Oakland when you were there every year, but there weren't teammates there, and support staff was down here as opposed to there. You went to your big league ballpark every year, the state-of-the-art stuff, teammates around, support staff. Does that position you for maybe a better starting point?
Yeah, I mean, it should. There's guys who have great off seasons who still start off slow. Like, I don't want to say, hey, this off season is going to make me hit 500 in camp, but at the same time, that stuff matters. Those years in Oakland where I was on my own and I had the person I trained with and he throws to me, like, those were great in their own way. But this was the next level for me, and just to be able to have teammates around and bounce things off of other big league players was great. We all talk to each other, we all help each other out, and that's one of the reasons I came here was, hey, we can move to Texas. The off season will be just as good as everything in the season.